Thank you, Robert. I was asked that perhaps I should tell some people in the room about what Neighbourhood Watch has been doing. And I described it as being a very busy Neighbourhood Watch group in Whitehorse. Crime prevention activities in delivering or distributing appropriate brochures to hotspots, as Robert has already spoken about. Operation Safe Plate Days, people know about them. We have one at Bunnings in April, and we're having one at Bunnings in Vermont South on the 22nd of October. And at these activities, we install anti-theft screws to number plates. Our record is 600 number plates in one day. That's going. The one-way screws are available at Forest Hill and Box Hill police stations, and both are open 24 hours a day. But they don't provide the service of coming to do it for you. You've got to do it yourself. Our Neighbourhood Watch program in schools program, I think last year we covered about 1,000 young students in primary schools, and I guess we're looking at preps, grade 1, grade 2, thereabouts. And that is very much organised by our crime prevention officer, Rebecca Millen, and I know she has moved into talking to kinders about what they should be doing, important numbers that they should know about, etc. as they're growing up when they're shopping with mum, and how they should hold a trolley and do all those things. Whitehorse E-News, which is something we came to light with about, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago. We have about 1,500 subscribers, direct subscribers, but we do know that it goes into areas and then those people hand it on further. So it might be 3,000 or 4,000. We really don't know, and we're not going to have an audit to find out. What we do know is, what is good about it, is that our E-News, all the articles in there, any other LGA, I've got to think about these names, local government area, those Neighbourhood Watch groups can take it, borrow it, as long as you recognise where it came from. And there are many articles that can fit into most situations, whether it's something about what police are doing. There's an interview of a Queensland police officer in the last one that's, I think it went out, or it's coming. And what I found interesting, it was a lady, and she's the only police person on duty, and I think her block of land was nearly the size of Victoria, a one-man band. And it's interesting how she went on to describe how policing is a community thing. A lady disappeared going from point A to point B, there had been floods, so on and so on. She had no hope of getting to go look, so 2 station owners eventually found her car, and the postman found the woman. So she said, that's what happens in my block of land. I rely on everybody else to do the things that perhaps in the city you expect police to do. But that's working with the community. We have brought online, I think, middle of last year, to have better communication, a volunteers newsletter. And that just is about what's happening in Whitehorse, and we're telling our 600 volunteers that we have in Whitehorse. And then coming down to the actual newsletter that was our bread and butter 30 years ago, today we distribute something like close to 30,000 per month, and that's distributed by about 600 volunteers. We've continued on with our Neighbourhood Watch radio program with 3WBC 94.1, and that's on the 3rd Monday of each month. And finally, coming on, we're aware of the Whitehorse Community Support Register, and that too, Neighbourhood Watch has made sure that that continues on, particularly their needs, any financial support that they require, and we're able to advertise their activities in our newsletters that go out, etc. This year, so that's what we've been doing. But this year we received a Deakin Community Award in recognition of our outstanding contribution to the Deakin community. We increased our crime prevention field activities participation by about 100%. And just loosely, I would expect that for this 12-month period, we will cover about 300 to 350 hours of footwork that quite simply the police cannot do, and as Robert has referred to, we're delivering those leaflets that are designed for particular situations. If we can get in there and at least make all the other people lock their cars or lock their house or do whatever's necessary to minimise that, that's great. We have over the last 8-9 months, we have reopened 3 areas that had died. Area 42, 36 and 37 are all up and running, and we're working on 50, 32, and I've got 32 again, so I don't know what that means. I think it's 30. 50, 32 and 30. One item I would like to mention, and constantly the world is changing and Neighbourhood Watch has to meet changes as well. One of the items that's coming up that we have to address is changes to our accreditation. Victoria Police are no longer able to perform police checks for new volunteers, but don't get alarmed. Neighbourhood Watch in Victoria has determined our accreditation processes, and we will arrange to use the National Police Check. All area managers will be provided with this detail. This change will have very little effect on our day-to-day running of areas, and some minor record-keeping adjustments will be necessary, and we do not see any problems with that at all. But it's just something we must do to be smarter. And the final item I would like to make mention, which is very new, we are into Facebook. And there's a couple of us don't understand what it's about. Anyway, we can get it out in a newsletter. I think that's about Neighbourhood Watch in brief.